Hi everyone, it's Chris from FunTech Guys. So I'm just going to finish the tutorials off and just pick up where we left off. Now I left the what's called the mail, the processing of the mail into the very last video, because essentially that's what this whole video has come down to. It's sending mail that we've done in a form, and every video that we've worked on so far is either setting it up or just processing it, you know, like validating the data basically. So as I say, we've left it at a point where it's sending the errors back to the user. So I'm going to just go ahead and start processing this form. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to prepare some variables. So I'm going to say email. Let's just say email message. Actually, let's do this. Let's do if is not null. So what we're doing here is we're saying if something is null, but if it's, so we're adding the exclamation mark, so we're saying is not null, and then we are going to say name. So as long as name is not null, let's start creating a message. So we can say message is we've received a email from name break, else it must be null, so the beginning of our message can say something else. So email message equals we've received an email. So yeah, so all I'm doing is I'm just checking if email has a null value, then obviously someone's not submitted their name, so we don't need to include it at the beginning of the message. If they have, if it's not null, then it must equal something that means we can include their name at the beginning of the message. So then I'm just going to knock down. I'm going to say oh, that's not right. Email message dot equals, and then I'm just going to append. Message on. So the message being the field from up here. So message is the big field, the big text area. Sorry, the big field. So yeah, what I'm saying is we're creating a variable which we can just pass into a mail function in a second. So what essentially it'll do is it'll just send we've received an email from. It'll break down onto a new line, and then it'll just paste the message. It'll just send the rest of the message. So now what we need to do is we go mail, and we need to call the mail function. Now this mail function takes in 3 parameters as a default, so it needs a minimum of 3, but it can take in additional parameters. So these are, okay, so the first 3, this would be the 2. So this is the email account that you're going to go in to get it. So let's just say hypothetically you owned chris@yahoo.com. So if this was my email account, or this, basically this is your personal email account that you want the emails to be received on. Then this would be the subject line, so I'm going to say contact form submission. And then this is the message. So I'm going to take off the single quotes because I don't want to pass in a string. I want to pass in a variable. And then the final parameter that it takes is some headers. So in this instance, I'm just going to say from, and I'm just going to say, let's just say FunTech Guys, no reply. No reply. And then bracket, and then I'm just going to say no reply, and then I'm just going to say at YouTube. So this is the email account that it's going from. So basically, where is this PHP form sending its email from? And I'm sending this email from no reply at YouTube. I'm just using this for test purposes, obviously. And then, so this is the account that's going to be receiving it. This is the subject line. This is the message which we've just prepared up here, and this is who's sending it from. Now, unfortunately, I don't have mail set up on my local machine. I'd have to put this onto a server, so I'm just going to go ahead and comment that out. But what I can do is I can just do echo, and let's just say email message. Save this. Now come back to our test. I'm just going to say me@me.com, Chris, and this is a message to test. Send email. Okay, syntax error on line 50. So I have not terminated my line. Save that. Reload. And there you go. We've received an email from Chris. This is a test message. Message to test. So as soon as I uncomment this line, and I run this, providing we got all the way down here, it would take in these parameters and it would fire off the email, and that is literally it. I have tested this just so you're aware that this does actually work. I'm 100% confident in that. So as long as you have got to this stage within your PHP, then it's going to work, as long as you have followed these the step by steps. So that's pretty much it. You know, that's how you create a contact form. We have, as I say, we have created a HTML page. We have gone through the elements, so we've gone through input, and we've gone through text area. We've got a submit form, and it's processing back to itself, which is down here. Now, once it's processed, we are checking if the post has been set. So if the post has been set, then it's going to go through and it's going to check. It's going to set some default values, some variables and arrays and whatever. Then it's going to check email. It's going to pass in through the relevant error messages. So if it's not a valid email or if it's not been set, and then if it has been set, it's going to clean everything up. Same again with message, and then again with name, it's just cleaning data up. If it's not been set, then it's setting the value to null. Then down here we're going to be we handle the errors, and then once the errors have been handled, we prepare our email, and then we fire off our email, and that is literally it. At this point, so below mail, we can say success equals true, because the email has now fired. And then we could say something down here. We could do something along the lines of, let's do PHP. We could do if success equals false, then let's show the form. And then we can just close the curly bracket around after it. So what I'm doing here is I'm just saying, right, I only want to show the form if success is equal to false. Now, success always equals false unless unless the mail has been fired off. And then at this point, we could say else success obviously equals true. So we can say echo your email has gone. Thank you. Now there's a whole host of things that we can do at this point. We can keep on drilling down. So let's just say every time that the user submits the field and it's returning an error message, that's not very user friendly. So we could say something like value equals, and then we could paste in the values. So we could say if is set email, clean up the data, and then pass that data back to the user, and then the value of this field. So let's just say, I'm not going to do it just yet, well, I'm just going to increase the length of the video, but for demonstration purposes, the value of email is me@me.com. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to just reload this page. Okay, line 74. I have misspelled success. Save that. Reload. Okay, your email has gone. Thank you. So obviously I've just reloaded the page. Okay, me@me.com. So where we've passed in this variable, the value of it, we can check. So where we got value, we can say, okay, well let's replace this with the data that has been submitted. So we can say, okay, I'm just going to write it in pseudocode. If is set pass data back to the user. Back to the user. And then they don't need to worry about having to keep on filling out their data. So there's a whole, like I say, there's a whole host of things that we can keep on doing, but that now has that's evaluated and that's been successful. As I say, we've gone through, we've checked everything, we've dealt with the errors, and we have sent the email. As you've seen, once I reloaded a second ago, it just said success. You have your email has gone. Thank you. If I just go back. Oh, it's gone now. Never mind. Anyway, so I'm going to close the video off there. I hope you've taken something away from it. I know it's been a bit erratic, and I've tried to keep it as short as possible. but we have learned quite a lot. We've dealt with arrays, we've dealt with a multitude of functions. So we've dealt with isSet, empty, filter underscore var. You know, they're just the ones that are on page now. We've done string length. We've also done count. We've worked with for each loops. We've set variables, and we've concatenated variables on. We've sent the mail off. We've also worked with Boolean values just to make sure if the form has been submitted and it's successful, and it has and it hasn't. We've also briefly talked about how to pass data back to the user. So that's where we would add in a variable just to say, okay, you've already submitted something, but we don't want to wipe the form clean. So it's been a pretty successful tutorial, if I do say so myself. So I'm going to cut it off there before I start rambling. I already have been for the last, 45 minutes worth of videos. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope you've taken something away from this. And if you have, please like and subscribe by clicking down below. Okay, take care guys.